I'm literally at the airport, standing there, looking around for the suitcase. My mum is literally there frantically, like almost crying in the middle of the airport, and I don't even know what to do. Part of me for a second did think, do I vlog this? And then I was like, hells no, like that's so insensitive. So before we get into all of that, I'm just going to rewind a bit and show you how all of this started. Beginning with our fantastic trip to Amritsar. So they'd really changed the roads in Amritsar since the last time I came. They've made this like flyover thing, so it's so much easier just to get straight into the temple car park. But the only thing is, there's only one way to get from the car park to the actual temple.
Yay. Hi, mommy. Hi.
They've actually redone the surrounding area. As you can see, there's a much wider footpath and it's a lot easier for tourists and people to get by. They also erected this statue in memory of the lives that were lost during Jallianwala Bagh, which was the massacre that took place in Amritsar during British Raj. Yeah, and it's just such a lovely walk up to the temple as you see it in the distance. The Golden Temple is really something out of a dream. It's such a peaceful and serene environment, and I strongly urge, no matter what faith or background you're from, you definitely try and visit if you're ever nearby. This was my niece Kiara's first trip to the Golden Temple, and it seems as though she was having a fantastic time. She's just the cutest thing ever. You're also not allowed to record inside the Golden Temple, so all of this footage is very sneaky. You're allowed to record outside of the building, but not inside the main darbar or the actual Golden Temple itself. So after we went to the temple, we then went to some of the surrounding shops. Amritsar is known for their Punjabi jutti, which is this very typical traditional Punjabi style of shoes that you usually wear with Indian suits. Addiction. we drove back to Chandigarh. We boarded a flight to go back to Delhi. We sent the majority of our stuff in the car of my dad, who was coming a day later, and literally only took hand luggage with us in the flight. And this is where I'd say some of the problems began, but I'll let you know as the story unfolds. So rather than sending everything in the car with my dad, my mum felt more comfortable keeping all of her valuables and jewellery with her in her hand luggage in the flight. So we put the trolley up on the overhead compartment, and then as we were landing, so all was fine, and then as we were landing, we realised that 2 or 3 rows in front of us was Milkha Singh, like a really, really famous Indian athlete. He's quite old now, but everyone in India knows him. He's the man in the red turban, and I tried to very secretly vlog him. So this is the bit that I don't actually have vlog footage for, because it would have been very insensitive me recording once you figure out what happened. So we're on the plane, we're getting off the plane, we just landed in Delhi. I see Milkha Singh and I'm like, what up? Those of you know who Milkha Singh is, and I was very excited because he's a world famous athlete and also just an idol. Yeah, and so super excited. And my mum had put her hand luggage up in like the top overhead compartment thing, and yeah, like you do, you expect it just to be there when you land, and it was only a 45-minute flight. The plane's landed, we're all about to get up off our seats, and I'm like, oh my god mum, the suitcase isn't here, and she's like, haha, don't joke with me, because this is the suitcase that has all of her jewellery that she just took to an Indian wedding in. And for those of you that know, people at Indian weddings wear a lot of jewellery because I don't know, it's just a thing that's done. She starts panicking, I start panicking, so I'm like, holy shit, how the hell has this happened? It's been a 45-minute flight and there's literally just 2 of us here, like what the hell? I'm gonna call her Air Hostess 1. Meanwhile, we tell Air Hostess 1 and she's just like, should have looked after your bags. And we're like, excuse you? That's all you have to say? No, I'm gonna tell security, I'm gonna get help. She's just like, oh, well, you should have kept jewelry in your handbag. Yeah, I get that, but now shit's happened, now shit's gone down. What do we do? So I tell my mum that I'm gonna go to like, tell her to stay and deal with whatever, like check the compartments here. I'm gonna run to the terminal and check people who are at the baggage claim just to see if someone's accidentally taken our trolley. I run to the baggage claim, check and look around, I don't see it anywhere. Then I ask the security, tell them, and they're like, the only person that's left the airport so far is Milkha Singh because he's a VIP and he's had people escort him out. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. There's only one person that's left right now. That means there's nobody else left, so quickly gonna have a look around. I don't see this anywhere. And then half an hour goes by. I'm literally at the airport, standing there, looking around for this suitcase. My mum is literally there, frantically, like almost crying in the middle of the airport, and I don't even know what to do. Part of me for a second did think, do I vlog this? And then I was like, hells no, like that's so insensitive. But yeah, we were just like panicking in the middle of the airport, and everyone was staring at us. But yeah, so then half an hour later, there was one suitcase left behind in the airport, and we were like, okay, clearly there's been a swap because this suitcase looked quite similar to ours. But when they scanned the barcode on that suitcase, the passenger who they actually called with that suitcase said they already had all their suitcases, so clearly there was like a mismatch of barcodes or whatever. And so for about 2 hours we were going back and forth. They wouldn't check the CCTV, then they would, and it was just getting very complicated. There was one man this was Indigo Airlines, there was one man at Indigo who was absolutely fantastic, who basically was super helpful. Yeah, so we're like at this airport panicking, and mum's like freaking out because this is all of her jewelry in one suitcase. And it was just crazy. And then, so we asked them to check CCTV. They said they can only check the CCTV if we file a police complaint. So then my mum was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna file a police complaint. And then, I don't know what happened, this one guy at Indigo was super helpful. He went to check the CCTV, and then they did see that Milkha Singh, who is this world famous athlete, one of his like peoples, like the purser or whatever, accidentally had taken out. Instagram kind of saved my life in that situation because it was very hard to describe what that suitcase looked like. But luckily I had actually posted a photo on Instagram with that suitcase like literally 2 days before.
which I'll put on screen now. So I sent them that photo, and then I happened to, sent them that photo, and then they checked the CCTV, they saw that he had it, which made us feel a little better, but we were also terrified because my mum was just worried the moment they opened that suitcase they would see valuables and just keep it at that point. And then we're like panicking at the airport, trying to contact this really famous athlete through whatever means possible, trying to get the number on the reservation, but that was just a travel agent because he didn't book through himself, a personal assistant booked it. So we tried to contact him. It was just like an absolute nightmare. Like my mum was just like hyperventilating, and then there was me going, don't worry, it'll all work out, going, I don't even know if this is gonna work out, but this is all I can really say to help the situation. And then lo and behold, an hour later, we're at the airport, and one of the airport staff get a call from Milka Singh's daughter, who was like, we have this suitcase, but because of the contents of the suitcase, I'm not sending it back to the airport. Everyone keeps telling me just to send, I've called the customer service and they just keep telling me to send this suitcase back to the airport, but I'm not sending it back to the airport because I know it has valuables, and I'm not sending it until I speak to the person whose suitcase this is. So my mum spoke to her, explained every detail of what was inside this, and she was like, yeah, this is definitely your bag. And then went to Milka Singh's house, which is kind of crazy. My mum went to their house, was just mad, but yeah. It was just an absolutely like chaotic 3 hours, and in the back of my head I was supposed to go out with my friends that night, so I was like, if this has happened, if my mum has lost all of this stuff, there's no way I can go out because that's just very insensitive. But then she found it, and then I did go out, and here's footage of me going out. But if there's a lesson to learn from the story, it is always keep an eye on your bag. I would say if you're sitting on one side of an airplane, put your bag in the opposite side overhead bin, because you can then always keep an eye on it. If you put it up here, you sometimes lose track and you can't see directly, but you can always just look across, because that was just terrifying. The whole issue started in the first place because he's an old man, he didn't pick up his own suitcase. Someone from the airline came to pick up his suitcase, and because he boarded the plane very late, there was no space in his overhead bin, so they put it a couple of rows behind where we were. And then because our suitcases were so similar, someone just took ours instead. So yeah, it was just a crazy end to a trip, but I felt the need to tell you. My first ever story time / vlog. If you liked my India vlogs, this is the last part. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, thumbs up if you really liked it, and comment down below any videos that you want me to make while I'm at university, or any other videos that you would like in general. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are down below, and I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are. I will see you next time. Bye guys!